Good evening. The lighting on the third floor is a little bit different tonight. But tonight I wanted to talk to you guys about my favorite piece of milk glass, my Atterbury owl. Now I know a lot of you are saying, but Jocelyn, you hate milk glass. Now hate is a very strong word, I know. I may have used it a time or two. I don't hate milk glass. I've got quite a few pieces of milk glass sitting around, this being one of them. I don't hate milk glass. One of the reasons that I'm so vocal about my opinions of milk glass is because a lot of new resellers often fall into the trap of gravitating towards the more common pieces of milk glass that really aren't worth much in the current market. And so tonight I thought I would use milk glass as kind of a teaching tool to show you exactly how to determine the value of stuff. And we're just going to use milk glass as an example because everybody loves milk glass. I thought this would be a great opportunity to kind of talk about how I decide whether or not a piece of milk glass, or a piece of anything really, is worthy of resale. And you know, there's a couple factors that go into this. It depends on how much I have to pay for it up front, but it also depends on how much it's selling for right now, the past month, the past 2 months in the current market, because it really doesn't matter to me what it sold for 5 years ago. I want to know what it's selling for right now, because the market does this. And what milk glass sold for 5 or 10 years ago is not what milk glass is selling for right now. So it's very important as a reseller to know your current market values. So we're going to talk about it. And this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to use this. We've been using this a lot lately, I know. I'm going to do a screen record, and I'm going to show you how I figure out the most valuable pieces of milk glass to look for versus the least valuable pieces of milk glass that I want to avoid. And it's by looking at solds on eBay. That's my first go-to, is the solds on eBay. And I will just look things up randomly, like, hey, what lamps are selling? Let's look up lamps and let's look up solds and let's see what the most valuable lamps on eBay right now look like. So when I'm out looking around, I can recognize styles, I can recognize designers, I can say, hey, I saw that selling on eBay for blah, 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 blah. And that's kind of how I do it. So let's go back to milk glass. Let's use this. I'm going to do a screen thing like I've been doing. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Okay. So, you should be able to see my screen. We're going to go into eBay. And once we are in eBay, we are going to go and do search. We can search anything. As you can see, I've been searching lots of things. I'm going to be searching for milk glass. Just milk glass. Straight milk glass. I don't care what it is. It could be a vase. It could be a compote. It could be a planter. I don't care. I just want to know what milk glass sells versus what milk glass does not sell. So I am going to do search. Now, all of these results came up. They are probably in best order. I don't know. I don't know what kind of order these are in. Hey, that's mine right there. $4. Oh, they're in a good order, I can tell you that, because mine shows up near the top. Anyway, so once I've done that, I'm going to go to filter. I am going to toggle sold, and up where it says end date recent, I'm going to change that to highest price. That's how I want to sort it. Holy smokes, look at that cat on a hamper. Whew. See, isn't this fun? We're already having fun, right? I know that I want to be looking for that cat on a hamper. Whether I'm at the flea market, whether I'm at the thrift store, whether I'm in any antique shop, wherever I am, that's at the top of my list when it comes to milk glass. I want to find that because it sells for $700. Now, granted, you have to keep in mind that sometimes people are laundering money through eBay, so some of these prices are skewed sometimes. So just kind of look at it objectively. Sometimes you'll see trends like multiple items selling for a certain price. That's something you want to look for. But yes, people do use eBay to launder money. It's like a horrible thing. And also, you know, people will jack the price up on something and then it doesn't get paid for and it'll reappear down the line. But I just kind of use this as an idea to figure out what I want to be looking for. So we're at the top right now. These are the items that when I'm out looking around and I'm looking at milk glass items, these are what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to scroll through here. But you can see very quickly that the prices just kind of drop off. We go from 700, 570, we're at 500, and now we're down at 300, 300. And we're kind of, you know, it starts really high. And unlike lamps, when you look up lamps, it's just like this gradual little thing. But milk glass just kind of, there's not very many valuable, ooh, we're almost out of boundaries. There's not very many super valuable pieces of milk glass. But there are some, and they're worth looking for. So that's what we're trying to see. Okay, we've got a, wow, that hobnail cake stand. That's surprising. I would see that, and I wouldn't expect it to sell for that much. But now I know to look for it. That's crazy. Okay. Let's keep going. Ooh, I'm just going to click on those vases because they caught my eye. Those are pretty. Those look like Consolidated Glass Company, but they are not marked. Ooh. Yeah, I think those are maybe Consolidated Glass. I'm not sure. So we're getting down low. Now, I've talked about the bud vases, right? So they don't sell for very much individually. When you sell the bud vases, you need to lot them together to make a lot of money. So in this case, we've got 56 milk glass bud vases. Now, designers look at these for weddings. So these are great for weddings and having on the table with a nice display. Like milk glass, just, it's great for events. So that's why putting them all together in a lot works. If you can get enough pieces put together for a lot and you can get them cheap enough, totally worth it. Ellie Smith, of course, swung glass vase. Ooh, platinite, white plate. Fostoria. Oh my gosh, look at that turtle. What? See, it's fun looking through listings and seeing how people title things because group of 3 milk glass covered dishes all for one price. Like, I kind of wish I would have seen that because, oh my gosh. Ah! It's a little boy hugging a creature. Oh my gosh. I would have been all over that. I would have paid $150 for it. That's nuts. That's just crazy. Like, I've never even seen any of those pieces before in milk glass. Like, oh, they got a really good deal. I'm a little jealous, I'm not gonna lie. Wait. Yeah, no, they're definitely sold. I was like, wait, is that still a live listing? Because I'm gonna buy it right now with you guys watching, but it's not. Okay. Now, the other thing you have to keep in mind is a lot of these glass houses like sold different molds. Like, for instance, we once had this Atterbury chick that we got over at Thunderbird Salvage, and it had a patent date on the bottom because it was Atterbury glass. But then Westmoreland bought that mold and started reproducing it. So you have 2 almost identical dishes, one that's Atterbury, one that's Westmoreland. And of course, the Atterbury one is worth more because Atterbury just is typically worth more. Atterbury's older. There's a different color to the glass. All right, we've got this Sawtooth Diamond Point Compote. So these milk glass mugs that we're seeing right now, those can do very well. The Snoopy ones. I think the Snoopy one with the Red Baron, I think that one sells pretty darn well if you come across that one. This Heisey cult figurine comes across a lot. that's one that I'm always looking for because that's one that I see a lot selling for good money. So that's a piece that I've got my eye out for when I'm out and about. This fish dish, never seen it before. I would be interested in that. This right here, this Atterbury, I'm going to show you this. This Atterbury, it's like a bowl and its tongue is a spoon. This is a good piece to look for when you're looking for milk glass. I believe it's a condiment, a mustard. Yes. Here we go. We've got an Atterbury piece. Ooh. Yes. Okay. So that is what identifies, in most cases, Atterbury, is it has this patent date on the bottom. So that is something I always look for when I find these covered dishes. I look at the bottom and I'm looking for the patent date to identify pieces as Atterbury. I don't think all of their pieces were marked with that date, but that to me is just a dead giveaway. Like, hey, this is Atterbury. This could be worth some money. That is one thing that I am always looking for. Okay, so we've got Googly Eye Small Picture. I believe that is also Atterbury. Oh my goodness. Somebody put Googly Eye on it. Those red stones ever fall out of his eyes? I am so gluing Googly Eyes on there. That is awesome. Googly Eyes. Okay. Let's see. All right, so we've got another piece here. They've actually got it marked as Imperial milk glass. This is not made by Imperial. It has the date on the bottom. Oh, this is a cool one. This Atterbury fish. Check this out. Oh my gosh, look at that. I get really excited over Atterbury milk glass. Don't judge me. So here we've got another one of these bowls with the tongue. Always looking for that. All right, so now we're getting lower. We're getting farther down. So we've got another lot of the bud vases. Something to look for. Ooh, I like that bird mug. Okay, so here we've got a Westmoreland cat. Atterbury also had a cat. But see, this one's got the W on the bottom for Westmoreland. Let's see. Ooh, what is that? Oh my gosh. Ah, look at this. Okay, so we've got the glass cat on a hamper. However, I guess the hamper actually broke on this one, so maybe they replaced it with a wooden box. So this one only sold for $76 versus the last one that we saw that sold for $700. So we've got a Westmoreland hen on a nest. All right. What is that? Is that a squirrel? It is a squirrel. It's a squirrel on a nest. Oh boy. See, isn't this so much fun? All our auctions went off tonight and I'm getting all these messages. All right, so we've got a lot of 23 milk glass bud vases that sold for $48. This is what I'm saying. Like, steer clear of the milk glass bud vases. We've got a lot of 24. Kind of like those sailboats. What do you have here? A Pekingese dog. Interesting. I don't think I've seen that one either. And after a while of doing this, you see things over and over and over again, and you're able to recognize what is common and what is not common. And that really helps me a lot. But it's just a matter of looking at the stuff and knowing. And there we go. Those look like the ones I sold, but it's not my listing. All right, well, I think we're kind of getting towards the bottom. Now I'm going to switch it up, and we are going to filter lowest to highest, and we're going to look at the stuff to avoid when we find milk glass. So that's a lot of your grape patterns in milk glass. I usually steer clear of those. We've got a white milk glass bud vase. See, that sold for $125, but it had shipping with it. So these are the more common, you know, a milk glass bowl, these salt and pepper shakers. We've got 2 of the bud vases that sold for $2.60. Got a hen on a nest. Okay, so, oh, that's a private sale. Oh, okay then. Good morning. The McDonald's mug. Ooh, I accidentally clicked on that. Now, when you're looking at these, you also have to look at what they use for their title. Like that one that we saw, that was 3 for $150. The title really took away from that listing. They could have been so much more descriptive with their title. It was just so vague. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to go look and see what other things they have listed because there may be some deals there. But we're going to just continue to scroll through here and see. Apparently this white pink milk glass frog toad figurine. It's alarming to me how, okay, so I guess those are all different listings, but that's kind of weird that there's so many of those sold, unless they had multiples, but they all look like the same picture, so I don't know. And there's another milk glass bud vase, $3.99. All right. So I think you guys kind of get the idea. You get the idea of what I'm looking for and how I determine what I'm looking for. Now, one of the common things that I see people, I'm going to stop this recording. One of the common things, traps that I feel a lot of new sellers fall into is I see them looking up items while they're at like Goodwill or thrift stores. Even some other YouTubers, I've seen them looking up items while they are out and about. Like they'll pick something up and they'll be like, hey, I'm going to look this up right here. There's nothing wrong with looking something up. As a matter of fact, come here, Snow Baby. I have something to look up right now. I have this Snow Baby. Babies on the farm. Here, kitty, kitty. Figured this would be easy and we could just look it up. Oh, look, there's a here, kitty, kitty. Isn't that fun? So that was fun. Okay, so if I was in the thrift store and I was to find this and I was to say, I think this could be valuable. They only want $2 for it. How much can I sell it for? I'm going to screen record for you. We're going to do this together. Watch this. I am going to put as a search, Snow Babies kitty. Let's see what happens. Nothing happens. Nothing is happening. We're just going to wait a moment for something to happen. Maybe I did something wrong. Did I do something wrong? Snow Babies kitty. Let's try it again. Search. Ah, there we go. That was easy. Okay. Okay, so now I've done a search. See, there's a new one listed for $24.99. That is what people are asking for it. $29.99. Here we've got one $37.50. This is all what people are asking for what I have right here. So a lot of the common mistakes people make when they're looking up stuff to list is they look at what stuff is listed for and they say, oh my gosh, I've got this here and it's worth $37.50. Let's see what they're selling for because that's just what people are asking for. I could ask $500 for this and somebody could go on here and say, oh my gosh, it's worth $500. That's what I'm asking. Did somebody pay that for it? No. I would hope that nobody would pay that for it. So we're going to go in, we're going to hit sold. I like to search highest to lowest. I always just default to that. It looks like one actually sold for $37.50, but I think that one's still listed. So my guess is it may have sold and they returned it, or maybe the sale didn't go through. That's usually what that indicates. So it looks like there is one sold. It was not new in the box, but it was $10 best offer accepted, which does not bode well for my little snow baby. Let's see what it says for a description. I was expecting damage. It's not even damaged. It is in good condition. It was sold for $10, best offer accepted. That is what it is selling for. I'm not going by the $37.50 because I honestly feel like there's one unsold for that, right? Didn't we see it? Yeah, there it is. Same one. And it's still listed, so it doesn't count. That's what I'm saying. So one of the common traps that I see new sellers fall into is not only are they looking at unsold items and going off of those, but they're also looking at the highest. They're looking at, okay, the most I can get for this is $37.50. And that's dangerous. Whenever I find something and I do a search on it, I search by highest, but I look at the lowest number. So I'm looking at $10 or best offer, and I'm saying, okay, if this sells for the lowest I can possibly get for it, based on the current market, which is this is the current market. This is what stuff is selling for. If I go off of this, it's always so important to look at the lowest. Like, I get it. You get excited and you're like, oh my gosh, I could get $500 for this. But, you know, if one sells for $500 and the rest are all selling for 10, 12, you know, that's kind of where your range is. And you want to be realistic about this, and you don't want to set your expectations too high. That's dangerous. So whenever I'm looking stuff up, whether I'm currently at the thrift store, whether I'm at home after the fact, I always go and I base it off of the lowest number. And that's my base number. So if they want $2 for it, and I'm looking at this and I'm seeing, okay, $10 best offer, that means it could have possibly been like $8. If I pay $2 for this and I bring it home and I list it and I pay the PayPal, or I pay all the fees and all of that, is it really worth it to me to buy this for $2? Probably not. That is what I'm going to base my number off of, not the highest. It's just not good business. So I think that's really my talk for the night. And then I'm going to show you some of my other favorite pieces of milk glass. Are you ready? Show and tell time. Okay. This is my fox. It is a fox on a dish. He's really quite great. I bought him as an Atterbury fox, but he doesn't have a patent date on the bottom. And so I'm a little bit like, is it really an Atterbury fox, or was the mold sold and somebody else made the same thing? And this, you guys are probably like, Jocelyn, there's absolutely nothing special about your compote. I know. They sell for like $12 to $15. It is a Fenton cabbage rose milk glass compote. And it's one of my favorite pieces because it is one of the first pieces of milk glass that I ever bought. And I've had it for a very long time, and I've held on to it. So those are my favorite pieces of milk glass. So from here on out, I can tell you that I do not hate milk glass. We've learned a lot tonight. We've learned the pieces of milk glass to look for while we're out versus the pieces to leave behind, like the bud vases that only sell for a couple bucks. It's really important to do your research and to build your knowledge, whether you're searching for milk glass or whether you're searching for lamps or whether you're searching for, I don't know, marbles or anything really. You can use that technique to research anything and to kind of build your knowledge about different items. You know, teacups. What teacups sell? Okay, let's search teacups sold and see what teacups sell. It's really a great tool. The last tool that I will share with you guys is WorthPoint. We do use WorthPoint, and it was interesting. I'm not going to share a WorthPoint screen share with you because it is a service that I pay for, and I feel like that's kind of crossing the line. But one of the interesting things that I noticed when I searched for my Atterbury Owl on eBay is there are none sold currently. There's none showing up in the sold. There is one, I think they're asking $200 for it. They're asking that it is not sold, but there are no sold on eBay. So usually when that's the case, then I kind of shift over to WorthPoint and I look there. So I was looking for my Atterbury Owl over on WorthPoint, and it was really interesting because I have my WorthPoint filtered so that it filters by highest to lowest, just like I do my eBay. And I put in Atterbury Owl, and it was really interesting to note that a couple years ago, it was selling for hundreds. It was selling for hundreds. This is like 2011. This is like 10 years ago. The Atterbury Owl was selling for hundreds of dollars. And as I scrolled through from highest to lowest, I could see the dates begin to change until the most recent, 2018, 2019, 2020. And now the Atterbury Owl sells for like $45 to $60. So that's just something to keep in mind. And that's why it's so very important to look at your current market values. You know, don't be so fixated on what things sold for 10 years ago, 5 years ago. eBay solds is where you really want to be looking to see what things have sold for recently, because that's where you're going to find your market, especially online. So that is my lecture for the night. The whole reason I did this is because I spent the whole day filming over at the shop. We got some really great stuff that Eric dropped off. We spent the whole day filming, got 3 videos out of it, got home, plugged the SD card in the computer, and I realized that I had filmed the entire day in slow motion. It was like 3 hours worth of footage in slow motion, except there was no audio. So it wasn't like I could just like speed it up and make it normal. There was absolutely no audio. All of the 3 videos are just a complete wash. And I'm so bummed out because there was like, we did this unboxing and we had no idea what was in the box. And just the excitement and just like, we were so excited for some of the stuff we were pulling out of this box. And like that initial excitement is just completely lost. And we're going to refilm the stuff tomorrow, but I really wish you guys could have been there for that initial unboxing because it was fantastic. I'm really bummed out about it. But by the time you guys are seeing this video, we are refilming what we lost. And we're going to be bringing that stuff to you guys because, you know, Eric's always got good stuff. And he brought us some pretty great stuff today. So you guys can expect to see that in the next few days. And I guess I will see you tomorrow. I hope you got something out of this video. And yeah, all right, later. My family calls it my superpower. It's my ability to see value in things that other people might overlook.